जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओ 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओम। श्री राम जय राम, 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 जय जय राम ओम।
राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम
ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम
ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Om. Sadgurunatha. Yesterday, Sunandaji wanted to say something, we couldn't.
She joined today's committee.
She joined.
Sunandaji there?
She is there.
Yes.
Yeah, she's there.
No, I did not choose.
Maharaj?
No.
No.
Sorry.
Okay.
So we are in which chapter now?
9.
Where are we now with Papa?
8 minutes, 9 to start.
8
minutes, 9 to start.
8th chapter, now going to 9th.
From Chidambaram, where did we go? You are referring to the text? From Chidambaram to Tirupapaliyur, and Tirupapaliyur, we were elaborately concentrating upon two aspects. One was that, in the second chapter, Papa was praying to the Almighty Lord of the Universe. Thy slaves one prayer. Thy slave.
They are talking in between. Yes.
In the second chapter, the prayer original in nature. Papa was not repeating the prayer of somebody else. It came from within, bottom of the heart. So without telling us, he is now conveying to us that any prayer that is original, that will be heard. Number one. Number two, what was the prayer? Thy slaves one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. It's a very, very important portion, no? Ours is to seek his grace to make us know that we are completely under his guidance, and for which the me and mine should not be there. This is a powerful message. So in Tirupapaliyur, we could see that when the two boys made a comment, no, he did not find fault with anybody. Here again, he feels that his purity level has not reached the optimum level. This is something, very, very striking. In spite of scaling the heights, Papa still feels that he is yet to reach the purest of the purity state. Here he says, he is mad of Ram, and every moment he cries out to him to make him pure and only live for Ram's sake. Besides, it is his humble presumption that Ram is taking him on this pilgrimage to purify him. Something on which we did not apply our mind previously much. So every time the humbleness and humility makes us always aware that we are yet to scale the heights. Because the sense of individuality is there, And when sense of individuality is there, naturally, body consciousness will be there to some extent.
Is it a test, Swamiji?
It's a test.
Yes.
It's a test. So this is something on which we have to keep on thinking. Where are we? Then suddenly we realize, where are we now? If on the 27th December Papa could take the plunge, and what was the word he used, do you remember? At 5 o'clock in the morning, he bade farewell to a world for which he had nothing to call his own. The body, the mind, the soul, all were laid at the feet of Ram, that eternal being, full of love, full of mercy. He bade farewell to a world for which he had lost all attraction, and in which he could find nothing to call his own. He defines what is renunciation. No? He is very much with the world. We should know this. He is very much with the world. He is very much with the activities. He is not shutting himself in a cave. But the word he used was this. That means anything from the individual standpoint, it was not there. From the cosmic standpoint, everything is there. From the individual standpoint, that means the individual, in the Millenniagadi Prabhuji, both it becomes one. The river becomes one with the ocean and therefore loses its sense of individuality. So here he writes that at 5 o'clock in the morning, he bade farewell to a world for which he has no attraction. He had lost all attractions, and in which he could find nothing to call his own. Even then, traces of something must be there, otherwise Papa will not write. That he is, every moment he cries out to him to make him pure and only live for Ram's sake. Okay, with that background, we moved from Tirupap.
What is the meaning of Ram's sake? Ram's sake.
For Ram's sake, only for the sake of Almighty, the life should henceforth be nothing for on the individual level. I live for my desires, I live for my cravings, my infatuations, my ambitions, my sense of security, my rights and wrongs, my likes and dislikes. Here he says nothing of that sort. Everything is for him. I lose myself. Difficult to understand. Because we are in that level, We are in that individual level, and this is a stage where the individual level gets dissolved. So how can we now think about a stage where the sense of individuality got dissolved? We cannot. So only by graduating ourselves we will be able to know it. That is very particular. And from there he moved to Pondicherry and Tiruvannamalai. And what happened here? What is it that strikes? What is it that stands out? We are not very much worried about what had happened. We are trying to pick out the message he gives us through those episodes. Yeah, that is also there. See here, the subtle message. Normally, by himself, he will not go for any alms. Because when Ram is taking care, what is the need for him to go for alms? But at the same time, when the same Ram commands him through some other creation, he accedes. That means there is no sense of individual. Suppose I have already said, I have already taken this vow, I have already done this, I have decided. No, this is what we say. And we try to hold on. But here, he treats the command of the Sadhu Ram as Ram's. And that is why unconditionally he hands over whatever that has been collected. He did not even count. And the Sadhu says, your Ram is wonderful, because 10 annas on those days to get one in one bhiksha, it is the toughest job. Even then, no. The sum will do for 2 days. Okay, then afterwards.
If you get a Pondicherry visit, then the general theory is if I have put in effort and effort fails, then there is disappointment. But if God wants me to put effort and it was not possible to see Saint Aurobindo, God's will, that feeling will not leave any distaste in the heart.
God's feeling was there, that's why he is not displeased.
No, if he had put effort on his own, he would have felt disappointed. He felt God was making him put effort, so there was no disappointment.
Quite right. Normally, suppose we start on some activities in a day. Suppose we meet with this labeled the failure. Not once, twice. What will be our state of mind? First attempt to see Aurobindo failed. Second attempt at least to be there for a day, because they have walked all the 20, 30, 32 kilometers. 20 miles means 32 kilometers. Barefoot. So naturally it's a common thing, it's a common, genuine, reasonable request of anybody to stay there. That was also denied by the police. 2 successive adverse situations on the same day. We are just comparing. 1 failure, okay. 2 failures. But here, he was able to take it as a test from him. Because he had prayed in the 2nd chapter that he should be taken over by him completely and remove his I-ness. And he says the prayer was heard. So to us it is a failure on 2 fronts. For no fault of his. Absolutely no fault of his. Naturally, the mind can bring out so many grumblings and complaints. But here he says, when the Sadhu Ram was a few yards off the station, the Sadhu Ram commenced to pour quite a shower of abuse on the inspector. No amount of persuasion on the part of Ramdas for peace would stop the brisk play of his tongue. He was assured it was all Ram's wish. See? And so there was no reason to grumble. Still he continued to give vent to choice epithets of abuse. He seemed to be quite a master in that line. For about a mile, the Sadhu Ram's wrath did not cool down. Gradually he became silent, maybe due to exhaustion of his stock of vocabulary, or on account of an empty stomach, or it might have all been a trick of Ram to test Ramdas. He would join him in the game set on foot by him. Ram alone knows, and he alone can judge. Just now, one thought came and we wrote, life is full of ups and downs. Ours is not to be carried away by the ups and not to be swayed away by the downs. How can it be possible? Only when we bring in the God dimension. That whatever he does, he makes, it is by his will, and it is for our ultimate good. So chanting is to remember him, and through remembering him we get our balance. This is very important. Otherwise, anybody in his position would have definitely joined the Sadhu Ram. Because from the worldly standpoint, he was not at all at fault. Anybody would like to have the darshan of a saint, so he went there, it was denied. Even a darshan was denied. But he did not feel bad, Ram's wish. Then the policeman did not allow him to stay. After walking 32 miles with a barefoot on hot sun, something we cannot even imagine. Within 1 hour they have to leave. So 32 plus 32, 64 kilometers walking on barefoot. Especially in a summer in Tamil Nadu, Papa. Unimaginable. Whatever may be our mental ability, body will definitely grumble, But here we find Papa rising above all those things. How? Because his subservience to him became total. All these things are possible only when we raise ourselves from the present level to a higher level. That is why he said in the first enunciation, the first para, he was clear that Ram wanted him to free himself from the clutches of me and mine and to become one with the cosmic reality. He says, now from the narrow pond of a worldly life, Ram had lifted up his slave to throw him into the extensive ocean of universal life. The air does not discriminate anybody, water does not discriminate anybody, earth does not discriminate anybody, trees do not discriminate anybody, sun does not discriminate anybody, We are trying to understand what is cosmic life and individual life. We are choosy, we are selective. From the individual standpoint, We have our preferences and priorities, aversions and likes and dislikes. But this is individual. But universal life means we try to look upon everything. It doesn't stand for itself. It is equally available to everybody. Please think over this. Papa used to often quote, think in terms of universal, not in terms of individual. What does it mean? No? Do in terms of universal, not in terms of individual. Talk in terms of universal, not in terms of individual. So in a subconscious level, we must have this. Cosmic means absolutely free from me and mine. The space does not discriminate. All,
Universal explanation.
No. Yeah. So this is something on which we have to apply our mind, What is universal, When we today take our food, the rice does not discriminate. I am only available to this person. The vegetables which we use, they do not discriminate. All can have. That is why it is in the shop. We have not applied our mind on those levels. When he says, throw him into the extensive ocean of universal life. What is universal life? Universal life stands for absolute negation of me and mine. We are enjoying all the benefits the universal life that is offering us, but still we refuse to recognize it, and we try to be in a conceptual prison that I am so and so, I need this, I want this. So in the second chapter, he clearly mentions Ram had now from the narrow pond of a worldly life, that means me and mine, Ram had lifted up his slave to throw him into the extensive ocean of a universal life. Because he got stabilized in that, rest of the things, all these, when he was asked to go back, he did not feel, because he was not identifying himself totally with the individual life. If I am reviewing it only from the individual life, my grumblings and complaints will be there. But if I raise a little, slowly it will become faded. And ultimately when I go to the rooftop or from the aircraft when I look, everything is beautiful. So similarly, there is nothing that we can say mine. So this is the foundation. The second chapter, first para, is the foundation upon which, first and second chapter, that is the foundation upon which his spiritual life has been built. So right from the beginning, it was very clear to him. It is not that after chanting for so many days, no. It is not after studying so many things, no. He was very clear right from the beginning. Before he gave the final plunge on 27th December, before that it has taken place. So in spite of these two successive failures on that particular day, he was not at all upset, and he was viewing it as a test. Because often the test has to be meted out to see whether we got stabilized in the truth. Or it might have been a test to test Ramdas if he would join him in the game set on foot by him. Ram alone knows, and he alone can judge. And any other point in that particular chapter? Yeah, that's also a point. So after retracing that about 4 miles from the city of Pondicherry, Sadhu Ram selected the veranda of a shop which was shut for taking rest for the night. Each early following morning, they started on their return journey to Tirupapuriyur, which place they reached at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Here it should be stated that the Sadhu Ram was looking after him so tenderly that he was veritably a foster mother to him. Again, it was all Ram's trick, whose ways are at once loving and mysterious. Every now and then, he is not thanking him individually. Please note this. Normally, when somebody helps us, we thank him, we remember him. Our gratitude is there for him, to the individual. But here, through that individual, he is always connecting with Ram. This is another powerful message for us. Normally, in the worldly level, at the family level, professional level, social level, whenever somebody helps us, we naturally thank them, we respect them, we develop gratitude towards them. Bas. We do not bring in the God dimension. But here, Papa, because his subservience has become total, he knew that it was God alone who was taking care of him, God alone who was testing him. So it was not from an individual to individual, from a Bhakta to Bhagavan, that's all. Because the individual is there as a Bhakta, devotee, and Bhagavan is there in the form outside. Wow. Then in Tiruvannamalai, he was led to a goldsmith whom he was acquainted. He was a very pious man. He pressed both to remain in his house as guests. For some days, Ramdas occupied a closed veranda in the front for his meditation and rest. In the mornings and evenings, he, along with the Sadhu Ram, would go to the huge temple of Mahadev. You were there when we went to Tiruvannamalai temple in the morning? A big temple. Last year, Preeti's, when we went to Preeti's, you were with us? Morning we left Madras. And we reached Tiruvannamalai at about 8:30 or something, 9 o'clock. So somebody said there is a time. Why not we go to the temple? We have not gone to the temple so far. Massive temple. So we had to walk a lot. And then a lot of people are there before each murti. Suddenly one person came, you remember? And he took us, would take care of us. And he took us to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to all important places inside, and came back. We remember that He was so loving. Are we connecting God to him? That is important. When God gave us the prompting to go to the temple, we did not originally plan at all. Only after reaching Tiruvannamalai, this plan had come. And so immediately he saw to it that the big temple, if there is no guide, we will not be able to move about with the shortest time available for us and then proceed to Preeti's.
Sadhuram came there.
Sadhuram. When Sadhuram was there. But we know that only after reading In Quest of God. No? So then, Papa, huge temple. Okay, then we went to the darshan of. One more lesson for all of us, that when we go to a Mahatma, we don't have to ask for anything else. Maharaj here stands before thee, a humble slave. Have pity on him. His only prayer to thee is to give him thy blessings. Because he is standing before a Mahatma who has connected himself totally with the cosmic reality. Very important for all of us to think. He was standing before a Mahatma who has completely connected himself with the cosmic reality, not with the individual sense of individuality. So he is only seeking blessings, Though you have made me aware of your reality, you have still given me a sense of individuality and given me the privilege of enjoying your company. Nothing more for Papa to attain, so he only says blessings, so that he will keep enjoying it, that blissful state of constant remembrance of that reality. That is the blissful state. Constant remembrance of that reality. Cosmic reality. So he was only the blessings are not for gaining anything. Blessings are only for enjoying the wonderful state God has blessed him with. Maharshi on his part, turning his beautiful eyes towards Ramdas, looking intently for a few minutes, as though he was pouring into Ramdas his blessing through those orbs, shook his head to say that he had blessed. A thrill of inexpressible joy coursed through the frame of Ramdas, his whole body quivering like a leaf in the breeze. O Ram, what a love is thine. Again, Maharshi is not in the field. O Ram. Bidding farewell to the Mahatma, the Sadhu Ram, and he returned to the goldsmith's residence. Anything else from this chapter? The first one was that normally by himself he doesn't go for any alms. Why? Because Ram takes care of him. But when the same Ram commands him through the Sadhu Ram to go for alms, unconditionally, spontaneously, he goes. And whatever alms Ram gives him through other forms, that was also passed on to Ram himself, who is there in the form of Sadhu Ram. See that background. Then two successive failures in our language. With all enthusiasm, when we go to meet a saint on foot for 32 walking about 32 kilometers in barefoot in the hot sun.
Why, Swamiji, is it a must that we have to walk, through barefoot? Because, we are,
You have to walk barefoot.
Barefoot. He was not using anything. Later on we will find in, when Mahadev Prasad, it was blisters, full of blisters.
Swamiji, he walked on snow in Himalayas barefoot.
Yes.
Unimaginable. Because he was not feeling it, because he was on a different realm. So now again, 32 kilometers on the tar road or metal road. Metal road must be on those days.
Yes.
And then they were asked to return back. And even these two incidents, what here mentions is Ram's wish. So then he made us to connect with the first chapter of the first para of the second chapter, where it was made clear that Ram intended to take his slave, Papa, from the narrow pond to the wide ocean, the cosmic reality. From the sense of individuality, a limited, from the limited to the illimitable. So anything that comes at the limited level, sense of individuality level, they did not exist for him. It is a wonderful point. And we also try to understand what is cosmic life. Cosmic life is nothing but total selflessness. It is available to everybody equally. At the cosmic level, life, we find when the sense of individuality is not there, everything is available to everybody equally. No preferences, no priorities, no likes, no dislikes. Whether somebody had abused, whether somebody had not recognized, the plantain fruit will not say, no, you ignored me, I am not going to come to you. No. Whatever may be your behavior towards me, I am always at your service. That me to we is total at the cosmic level. Simple air, no? It is not limited to one particular person. So today Papa made us to think something about individual life and cosmic life. Individual life is me to me, cosmic life is me to we. And then he was reveling in it, no? We name it as a failure. We name it as a stressful period. We thought that he must have had physical strain, but none of the things had appeared in anywhere. So he was reveling on a higher pedestal. So that is why when he was taken, it is not that he went to Tiruvannamalai. Normally we say, we plan to go to Anandashram, we plan to go to so and so. No? Here there was no such planning. The Sadhu Ram took him to Tiruvannamalai. He stayed in one of the houses of his friends, where he was reveling in inward journey. And one day he suggested, there is a sadhu, there is a Mahatma here, please go, let us have your darshan. Immediately he gets up and goes there. And then he prays only for his blessings. Nothing else for him to ask. We have almost covered about 9 in this in this review, 9 chapters. Before we enter 10th chapter, let us try to find out what is it that stays with us, It need not be on the chronological order or anything. The moment we say IQG, in quest of God, we are trying to feel him closer to us.
Swamiji,
Ah.
the moment we think of IQG, the only thing that comes to my mind is any event, individual, happening, whatever is designed by him. It happens, people execute, or it is executed through people.
Ah.
But everything is designed. This is one important point that I could understand.
Yeah. That is what he has been trying to emphasize. Everything happens only by, that's what he said.
Yes.
Only by his will, only by his will, only
Names
by
and
his will.
forms may be different when it is happening, but he is there behind. Names and forms through individuals, but behind is he only.
Behind is essence, spirit. Yes.
Swamiji, I also feel that in all these chapters, as per Papa, he is finding Ram coming in different guises.
Correct.
Sometimes there is some Ram, sometimes there's somebody helping him, sometimes there's a policeman kind of arguing with him. Everybody is Ram first. Ram is playing all the...
And the chanting is for remembering this.
Yes.
Chanting is for remembering this principle. Constant.
Yes, yes.
Then anything else on these 9 chapters?
Yes.
రాము నిర్ణయించేవారే. రాము వల్లనే అన్ని పనులు జరుగుతున్నాయి. రాము నిర్దేశించిన పనులను కూడా వారే మార్పులు చేస్తున్నారు. రూల్స్ కూడా వారే మార్పు చేస్తున్నారు. అది వారు నిర్ణయించిందని వారిని అవసరం అనుకుంటే వారి మీద, రాముడి మీద ఆధారపడిన వాళ్ళందరికీ అనుకూలమైనదిగా మార్పులు చేస్తూ వచ్చింది స్వామి. పోలీస్ ఇన్స్పెక్టర్ లైక్
Ram, whatever the way he likes, he is doing through people. Sometimes he will be doing favorably, sometimes may not be favorably. Sometimes he may change his way of doing also suddenly. So we cannot say, but it is all done by Ram. That is what we understood through policeman and...
Yeah. Quite right. Absolutely right. Isn't it?
Pray to give that stage to the Almighty.
Yeah, that is the message, yes. Then
Swamiji,
God
is the great provider. Our sense of possession and sense of individuality must gradually reduce for us.
Our sense of individuality and possession should gradually reduce when he is the provider.
Gradually must reduce. We pray for that.
We pray for that.
Though we say he is the great provider, we have not accepted him as the great provider. We say that. We hear that word. That is why we are still trying to provide so many things for us, So now the message is, why don't, when he is there, the planner, why should you unnecessarily strain yourself? That is a stage we have to reach only by his grace. Anyway, that's also a valid point, very valid point. Then,
There is a need-based life, not desire-based life. There is one more point.
Need-based life, not desired-based life.
Need-based life, not a desire-based life. They are all the preparatory factors, yes.
Swamiji,
Ah.
Swamiji,
Ah.
also please tell us, now in Papa's case, he's always thanking Ram, but I mean, I can understand that, at least intellectually, if not experientially. But then in day-to-day life, if somebody does something for me, though I know it is Ram doing, but I have to tell him or her that I am thankful, you have done a great job, you have helped me a lot. I have to express my gratitude to that person.
Ram.
Nothing wrong in telling. Nothing wrong in telling. Nothing wrong in telling. We should at the same time feel that God is helping us through that form. When we do the archana to a deity, we are glorifying him, not that he needs that glorification. For our satisfaction, we do that, The deity in the temple does not need any archana for him. Whether we do archana or not, he will be there. But for our satisfaction, we go and perform certain ritual. Similarly, when God helps us through so many, it is for our satisfaction that we are expressing it in the form of loving words, grateful, gratitude, all those things. Suppose nothing wrong. Attitude must be there.
Yes. Sometimes we can also pray for others.
Sure. Until we have reached the stage of that absence of otherness, we should pray. Because a stage comes when we don't have to pray because he takes care, no? Until we reach that stage, we should keep praying for the welfare of others. That is why all our Shanti mantras, if we go through all our Shanti mantras prescribed to us, we will find Loka Samasta Sugino Bhavantu. In all our Shanti mantras, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. There is no individual prayer there. Our entire prayer ends with that. Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama Tasmad Karunya Bhavena Raksha Maheshwara Raksha Maheshwari Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So many,
Is it the real meaning of, eye-to-eye contact of Puja Swami, Paji and Ramana?
We couldn't find eye-to-eye contact.
By our Papa, with Swami Ramana. Ramana Maharishi, when he had contact, they did not have a talk. Only eye-to-eye contact. Then
Papa prayed.
Papa prayed.
No, but eye-to-eye contact was there. No, will that made him?
He made him. Papa felt.
Papa felt.
That's all. It is a feeling that a bhakta develops,
And then he went to direct to cave, isn't it?
Yeah. That is okay. That is okay. That is okay. So what we are trying to understand is, where did we stop that? No. When we somebody asked, whether in the normal language we thank them, even in office matters we thank them. When somebody places an order, we say we are thankful. Nothing wrong. It is not hypocrisy if we mean it, because when we look at the whole thing, we are doing it in our puja room. God does not need a bath, but we give him a bath every day. Idam snanam, snananandramidam ajamaniyam, vastra pushpa uttariya yajnobhavida abharana dharanam samarpayami, peedam, padyam, everything we offer mentally, na? Does he need anything?
No.
So it is for our satisfaction to ensure that we have received him with full honors.
Yes.
We are mentally repeating this, or probably with Dravya Puja we may be offering it. The deity does not need anything from us. He has been with us even when we did not recognize him, even when we did not thank him. Even now he is with us, though we have not recognized him. So he doesn't expect anything from us, but still we do it for our own satisfaction. Similarly, whenever we try to handle things, God has willed that certain languages can be used as an act of your reverence, as an act of your gratitude, as an act of your love. So nothing wrong.
The second most salient feature is submission to his will.
Submission
Number
to.
one is submission to his will. If the things change, again it is taken as his will. So first is all events individuals are Papa to us, Papa in one form or the other. Second is submission to the will. This is what I think.
No, it's okay.
The most learning point.
And in the barring the first two, all these 7 chapters, we will find Papa repeating the word, "O Ram, how loving you are, how merciful you are." That means, though he has realized it, he is expressing it for the sake of all of us. That is how we should build up our relationship with him. Not that Ram needs any acknowledgement. Please apply your mind. Ram does not need our acknowledgement, but still Papa keeps on telling how loving Ram is.
And Mataji says, Dayalu Papa, all loving Papa.
So why are we repeating it? It is not merely a repetition. It is an assertion of the truth. Every now and then in Vyavahara, we are all very much in Vyavahara. We are not full-timers like Papa. So naturally, this has to be off and on hammered into our brain by expressing that he is all merciful, he is all loving, he is testing. Every time he brings, how many times? So this is also for all of us to deeply ponder over. Removing the individual, we should see and we should acknowledge, not merely seeing. We should acknowledge.
Original prayer above everything.
Original prayer is very important. Original prayer, because we know from our experience, we have been repeating Papa's prayer for decades now. It has not gone deep into it. We repeat adorable presence, prayer for world peace. If one word of it, the eye of the eye, if that has answered me, then we would have been initiated into moving toward the subtle and mysterious power, which Papa defines as Ram. So external prayer is all right to guide us to develop our own prayer. We find Papa's own words only everywhere. Own prayer only. He is not quoting anybody's prayer.
God does not expect anything from us. Is there any need for the prayer?
Is there any need? He won't expect anything. Is there any need to pray?
No, when we reach that stage, okay. When we reach that stage, that is okay. Until we reach, we have to keep on praying. Yeah. God does not need anything. இப்போ சொன்னேன்னு பூஜை பண்ணுறத நம்ம போய் ஒரு காலையில் நீங்கள் பாபாவுக்கு பண்ணுறத Baba does not need anything. But since you feel Baba is separate from you, you are offering this for your own mental satisfaction. Similarly, God is there in everybody. Because of him, these are all somebody told us. We have not realized. Until we realize the sense of individuality is there, the sense of individuality must pray from the bottom of the heart. It is nothing wrong. Because even for the prayer, he is helping us. Later on we will find, even to pray, he gives us the mental attitude, the suitable words, the suitable way of expression. He makes us to get in touch with the prayer composed by so many people, songs composed by so many people. So he gives us, oh. அப்படி கேட்கணும், நம்ம உள்ளே கேட்கணும், தப்பில்லை. What you are saying is right, 100% right. But we keep on praying to him, We still don't know whether what we do is right. We still don't know whether what we pray is right. Why don't you please guide us? You give us an inner prompting to do this. But I am not aware that you are prompting me to do this. I feel I am doing it. Because of you, my association with you, the Guru, you make me feel that everything happens only. Why don't you please make me aware of this? I am not asking anything else. Make me aware that you are behind, even behind this prayer. அது மாதிரி கிராஜுவேட் ஆகிட்டே வரும் அது. Why did you laugh? she couldn't understand.
That particular when God doesn't expect anything, so why we have to pray to the
when God doesn't expect anything to us, we know that, no, but still we keep on doing it, Leah. Do we stop our prayer? Do we stop going to the temple? Then just think about it. We know that. In all our archanas, we say that. If you go through the archana every day when you do to the deity, or Vishnu Sahasranam or Lalita Sahasranam, you will find in some the real methodology to connect ourselves with him. जीवाधाराय नमः, सर्वाधाराय नमः, भक्तावन प्रवृत्ति, भक्तावन समर्थाय नमः, अन्नवस्त्रदाय नमः, आरोग्यक्षेमदाय नमः, धनमाङ्गल्यदाय नमः, हृद्यसिद्धिदाय नमः, पुत्रमित्रकलत्रबन्धुदाय नमः, योगक्षेमवहाय नमः, मार्गबन्धवे नमः. It's like that, when you keep on thinking about the meaning of the various archanas, then you find, he all-encompassing. Everything is he, everything is he. I don't have to pray. But still you make me to pray so that I will get somewhere near to it. When you take up Shirdi Baba's 108 this thing, you will find that, it is a joyful journey with him. Any archana for that matter. Because the glorification of the Lord is called archana. When you do that, you are linking yourself with him. It is not the pujari does it, no. We all give some money, make a chit. He does something, you get some prasad, come back, gives you some satisfaction. Bas. But the real satisfaction will come when you go through what he does it on our behalf. We give him dakshina because he is doing it on our behalf. He does it on his... so that is why it is called dakshina, not wages. So we put in that tambal some love offering so that he has done it for us. Everything he has done. That's the real purpose of temple going, and when we do that, we get the satisfaction, we have done it. And because we don't have access, we don't have the preparation, we have requested somebody to do it. And the pujari does it. What is more important is the words. And also if you try, yesterday TKS was telling us, that we shared with everybody. We will repeat that for the sake of those who are coming. You have not heard it. Somebody feels that when we offer something to the deity, apparently he is not taking anything, Whatever malas we offer, it comes back. whatever naivedyam we offer, it comes back. The camphor comes back. Everything comes back. So how do we know that he has accepted it? So, day for yesterday, TK was sharing us, some Mahatmas clarified beautifully. I give you a small book, request you to read it. You are going through it. Again, I ask you some questions. You go through the theme. You finally get yourself established in the theme. Okay? But the book remains same. The theme has gone from the book to your mind. Apparently, the book remains the same. It doesn't get reduced. It doesn't feel that it has given the theme to somebody. It remained the same. But the fact is, you have imbibed, you have assimilated, you have absorbed it. Similarly, when we offer anything to the deity, if that bhava is there, if the shraddha is there, through that bhakti aspect, it is transferred. The naivedyam is transferred. The flower is transferred. Morning we offer flower to the holy feet of our masters. It is not the offering of the flower, no? It is a reverential attitude we are expressing it through. And that is why immediately after the flower is offered, it is taken and again given to somebody to take it as prasad. So that we are constantly aware, yes, he has accepted. Constantly aware that he has come there with reverence in our heart. He has made us to remember him with reverence in our heart. At morning 7:15, he makes everything possible for us to become one with him. The moment we go and stand in the sanctum sanctorum, whether it is Papa, Mataji or Swamiji, whether anybody, what is the attitude with which we are placing? That split second, there is a union. There is a union between you, the sense of individuality, with the Guru principle there. And that gives you joy. Oh, I have forgotten. I'm 7:15, 7:30. I have to rush up. Flower offering is not done. You will miss it, no? Not as a ritual. So when the Shraddha is there, the theme is transferred, but outer matters remain like the same. The flower is the same. Prior to offering, it is a flower. After offering, it becomes prasad. That is why we ensure that nobody puts their feet or something on it. Whenever we see suppose somebody has unknowingly dropped it, we take it and keep it in a place where nobody, because it has been offered to him. Anything that is offered to a Mahatma or a deity, it is equally adorable. So it was a very, very rational way of thinking, and also, it gives us a joy. The matter remained the same, but your shraddha, your bhakti, that counts. That is why we remember, when they offer the naivedyam, they will take this, ball and give the Om Pranaya Swaha, Om Apanaya Swaha, Om Dhyanaya Swaha, Om Samanaya Swaha, Om Brahmane Swaha. Like that, and they, every now and then when we eat, we need water. Madhye Amrita Paniyam Samarpayami. We should follow like that. And then Ajaminiyam, to wash our hands. So everything, suppose we knowingly do it, there is a joy in it. Real bhakti. We are not seeing it as a figure, as an image. A lively entity to which we are offering through our bhakti. Apparently, all the articles remain the same. It doesn't make any change. Same. But to us, it is not the same. 5-5. So, let us see what Papa has in store for us in chapter number 10 in the cave tomorrow. தெரியலே என்ன வேணும் சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்களேன் டைம் ஆச்சு இல்லையா
prayer, no? So God only is praying to himself, no?
ஆமாம், பகவானே நம்மளை பகவானை ப்ரேயர் பண்ணுறதுக்கு பண்ணுறார். பகவானே பகவான்கிட்ட ப்ரேயர் பண்ணுறதுக்குள்ள ஃபெசிலிட்டேஷன் தர்றார். அத்தனையும் அவர் பண்ணுறார். ஏன்னா அது நம்மால முடியாது. ஓம் ஸ்ரீராம் ஜெய் ராம் ஜெய் ஜெய் ராம. ஓம் ஸ்ரீராம் ஜெய் ராம் ஜெய் ஜெய் ராம. ஓம் श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. हरि ओम हरि ओम. नमस्कार.